All right, guys, I hope you're ready for this one TSL podcast with Eric Von Sydow, and here we are dropping some bombs. Man, you know, when you're really passionate about seduction, when you are really passionate about, you know, men's improvement and, God, man, it becomes your life. Like it's become my life, like it's become his life. And both of us have been in this business for a long time. And when you see people, you know, spreading misinformation, disrespecting seduction, disrespecting socializing, and the beauty of a man truly realizing his full expression, man, it kind of irks you. It kind of pisses you off in some ways. And so that's what we're actually talking about here. Definitely check this one out. It gets kind of heated in some of the stuff we say. But also don't forget, support Eric. Go to hypnotica.org. Check out his site. Get on his list. He puts out nothing but good products. And thesexuallife.com, where it all starts. The resource where we put it all together for you to be the better man. The social dynamic to be the better man.
I was amazed. I went to this, and maybe I'll get kicked out of it, or maybe I won't get invited back to it, but I was at the syndicate. It was a syndicate for, like, dating environment.
Man.
And I was in there, and I looked around, and I was thinking to myself, none of these guys could go out right now and do this, but they're making millions of dollars selling their stuff. Yep. And to me, that was a real eye-opener, because there's a difference between the lifestyle and the information.
Yeah.
And none of these guys I would consider, maybe one or two of them, would I consider innovators. And they're not going out there. And matter of fact, I threw a party. Well, actually, they asked me. They said, "Hey, can you bring these?" Yeah,
bring it, because I got a story that's that sounds very similar. But tell it, yeah.
So a guy who I like, Jonathan, he said, "Hey, man, like, we're throwing this big party. It's like the big money makers of the industry, guys that are making $1 million a month and stuff like this. Can you bring girls?" And I said, "Okay." So and this was like last minute. So I said, "Okay." So I brought in 12 good-looking girls, and these are girls from all different industries. I had one that was an insurance salesman, a gym promoter. Like, it was a great mix of girls. So I walk in the party, and I'm like, ready to go. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" I saw Adam Lyons there. Me and him, we had a good conversation. I saw a couple other guys, but the vast majority of things, within 45 minutes, I lost half the girls that were in the party, because they're like, "Fuck these guys."
Yeah.
Fuck these guys and stuff like this. And so basically I had to roll out of there. I was just like, you know what? Like, it was sad. I made up for it through a big party at my house afterwards and made up for it. The point is, though, walking in there, it was just amazing at how uncultured and how kind of disrespectful guys are when you walk in, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, these are the hookers, these are the prostitutes, these are the strippers."
Yeah. I
was like, these are none of that. And this is how you walk in. I walk in with a plethora of women, with a good party, ready to have fun, and how quickly you guys just killed the fucking vibe because your ignorance of what you think the interaction or the party scene should be.
If you're constantly teaching, if you're constantly having sex, if you're constantly having interactions, it's almost impossible not to come up with anything new. 2010, the syndicate was in Austin. Same thing, had a big party, probably wasn't as structured then. And there were a couple guys and a group of guys who wrote the book on how to have sex. I won't tell you which one it is, and it's not a bad book, but they wrote a book which was very popular on how to be like a really badass sex motherfucker, right? And they challenged me. They did the asshole thing, which all PUA people do, who are like, have that chip on their shoulder thing of like, "Why don't you get some girls?" And it was like at 3 a.m. And I'm always like, fuck that shit. But at this point, I did have some girls. And so I was like, all right, I'll do it. One girl came over. I start hooking up with her right in front of them. They're sitting there playing Street Fighter, video games, like in this guy's pimp ass apartment in Austin. And they're like, hey man, cool, you're the man. Total different demeanor. It was like, "Oh, you said," before, but as soon as the chick comes, as soon as sex starts to happen, this discomfort, this not knowing what to do happens. It wasn't even like their playing field. I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to get off. I told the chick, unless like you get all of my buddies off. And she's in this sexual state, she's in that mode of where it's just like, she's in front of people and like, enjoying it. And like, these guys are a little bit shy, and she's like, they're shy and they're shy about me. And, it's a good feeling. So she goes to, go hook up with them, and they just like, like expected, pussied out on it. But what had happened at that apartment is that they really ended up pimping it out. They had a big party place, and You know, when guys would come over from that seduction scene, they were never the guys that were like sexually active, and they were making bank on it, and it was just such a contradiction. And they pissed off the girls, you know, just with objectification or with not making them feel like women. This whole process of change, this whole process of seduction, of empowerment, that what Eric and I are actually talking about here is something that is so awesome. It's such an amazing thing. And that's really why we're doing these podcasts, as a resource for you to change, for you to improve. I mean, that's why TSL exists. Don't forget also, check out hypnotica.org. This is showcasing him. Get on his list. He has amazing products, resources that will help you with your mind, your mentality, your seduction, and total improvement. And of course, thesexuallife.com. Sign up on the newsletter. Check out the products, man. You can get started for $7. The Better Man's Guide is right there, and also the TSL at-home intensive. And you can just take it to so many different levels. Get passionate about it. Get passionate about the evolution of you.